I had a previous dog for 13 years prior to Marty, and then when she passed, I needed a little bit of time before I was ready to ask another dog into my life. And when it came time and Marty joined our family again, he brought so much to our family. Dogs make you go see the ocean early in the morning. They make you go walk in the woods on a rainy day. They really show you joy. If you watch a dog running through the woods, I would say that is a definition of joy and energy. They bring a lot to you. They really help.
We love our dogs, so much so that we're always looking for opportunities to have our canine companions with us. Our dogs are showing up at work, sometimes with their own jobs, and social events increasingly involve our canine friends. Some dogs, such as Dartmouth's Marty McFly and Arrow the Hotel Dog, are almost better known than their owners. Well, that's today on NSK9.
I got Marty as a puppy from the SPCA, and my previous dog, I had always hoped that she could be in the clinic, but she was a larger black dog and she liked to bark when people came in the door. But with Marty, I wanted to have a dog that was going to be comfortable to come into the clinic, and so I started him off right from the beginning. And right from the start, it was as if it was meant to be. He came in, he curled up in the corner, he was just so happy to be at work. He just loves his job.
Work is a physiotherapy and rehabilitation clinic called Cove Sport Therapy on the shores of Lake Bannock, one of the world's premier flatwater racing venues. Marty's job? That's simple. He's Cove Sport's CEO of Happiness.
Marty came from the WOOF program, which was the program that they take some SPCA dogs to the women's prison in Truro, and they do some training with them. So he came with a little bit of a training background and used to being around people. And my friend who helped me find Marty, who I'm truly grateful for, was able to at least know a little bit about his temperament and how well he would fit into my household and my clinic.
Bringing a dog into a work environment is not something one does lightly, let alone a medical environment. Shelley knew she wanted a dog that could be with her in her clinic. She had faith it was something her clients would not only approve of, but even see as beneficial.
We are all dog loving in the clinic, and many of our clients have come from the dog sport world, and we just kind of had to trust that the people that liked Marty were the people that were going to like our style of treatment, and he seems to have a way of winning people over, even people that might be a little bit nervous with dogs, because he's quite non-assuming, and he's a good little fella. I think Marty brings a lot of joy and a lot of comfort. So, sometimes people are coming in and they're feeling pain and things aren't always going so great for them when they start out in the clinic. But as soon as they walk in the door, they immediately have that loving, I'm so happy to see you guy coming towards them.
It's a bit like a therapy dog.
He entirely is, and he seems to know just the right time to come into the treatment room when people may need him. He seems to know who really wants his presence and who he can kind of hang out in the corner for.
A dog in a clinic may not work everywhere, but Cove Sport now sees visits from other dogs, including massage therapist Julie Maynard's hockey-inspired dog, Doug Gilmore. For Shelley, it's all a part of her approach to rehabilitation and well-being.
We try to have a really personal feel. We really want to know our clients. one of our really important things within our clinic is to spend a good amount of time with a client to really get to know them and get to know their needs and their goals. And I feel that having a dog or the dogs around, it brings that level of comfort, it brings that level of feeling at home to a client, instead of feeling like a medical atmosphere. So rather than walk in and feel nervous, they can walk in and go, oh, this is just like home. I've got this dog cuddled up beside me. I'm gonna throw the ball for him. And it just kind of breaks the ice and gives them that comfort through their treatment. And sometimes I think we get to know people a little bit quicker because dogs seem to bring that out in people.
Of course, Marty's not at work all the time. And when he can't make it to work for any reason, everyone notices.
Oh, there's been a couple times that I've had to come from places where I can't bring Marty and arrive at work and see a few clients afterwards without Marty there, and boy, does it feel empty without him there. And I know that the other therapists that are working with me, when I'm not in and I don't have Marty, they get very excited when I walk in the door with Marty. We even have clients that will book at a time when Marty's going to be there.
Now, having a dog with you at work, any work, is sometimes going to cause some interesting situations. And that's no different with Marty at Cove Sport. But you just have to take it in stride.
He's incredible. Yeah. My last patient was like snuggling him when I first came out and started the appointment off like in pure joy. The only time is when he jumps on the belly.
That's happened to me.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
But it's good for the shock.
Super great. Yeah. Thinks she's fine. Okay.
They replace spines here too, as you can see.
Yes.
They just keep them sitting around. You know.
Spinal replacement necessary. So Marty is Marty McFly. So we figured that the Marty could be like kind of a nice sort of name, and then if he was causing some problems, we could say, hey McFly, stop. Marty always looks for an invitation to join someone on their lap or on the treatment table, and sometimes he will take a nod or like a slight little hand movement as an invitation to hop up. So there's been times when he's hopped up and maybe he hasn't actually been invited, but generally he waits for his invite.
At the end of the whiskers are a whole bunch of little sensory things that send messages to the brain that tell you that what's in their surrounding. They even work in the dark, so it's kind of cool. So they can tell you what's coming at you, what speed is coming at you, whether it's a threat or not. So the whiskers are important. Oh, one other thing with that is that sometimes if they're scared or being challenged, the whiskers will actually flare out, which makes them look bigger.
We're used to all right, we knew that was going to happen. See? So.
Arrow is not the first. He's the second chocolate lab that we've had living here at Chocolate Lake. The first dog we had, her name was Coco, and she's now about 12, almost 13 years old. She lived here for 10 years. So when the hotel first reopened as Best Western Chocolate Lake Hotel, they wanted something kind of different to differentiate the hotel from other hotels. So they had just named the hotel Chocolate Lake. There happened to be a chocolate lab that didn't have a home. So it kind of just all fell into place. And the first night he stayed here, he was the first night Coco stayed here, she was 9 months old at that time, and she lived here at the hotel until she was 10.
Across the harbor from Cove Sport, on the shores of another lake, there's yet another dog with a job. At Chocolate Lake Hotel, Arrow even has a business card. But unlike Marty, Arrow has no owner, and he lives at his workplace.
Did you already book your reservation?
It's a little bit unusual for there to be a dog in residence at a hotel. What's that like working in a hotel with?
It's awesome. I mean, I'm a dog lover, so I love it. But it's so nice. It's so nice for both our guests and our staff. You know, our guests, I think people appreciate having a dog here, especially people who have their own pets and they travel with their pets. You know, a lot of people in this day and age, they like to bring their dogs with them because it's like a member of their family. And so guests love him, staff love him because they can come visit him, take him out for a walk on their break. Like, especially for me, you know, sometimes we're so busy throughout the day, and just to have a little headspace break, just take him out for a walk by the lake. Typically, his day kind of does revolve around us, of course, because, you know, our job is to take care of him, but we all, you know, have our own jobs here as well. So typically a day I'll come in, I'm usually in here at 7 a.m. and the first thing that he wants to do is go outside. So we'll take him out, he'll go out by the lake. In the summertime, he swims in the lake all summer. He's in there, you know, 3 or 4 times a day. And then he'll come back in, he'll have breakfast. Usually in the mornings, we let him kind of come out into the lobby area and he kind of just socializes with guests. People love stopping by and like petting his belly. And that's kind of the majority of his day. You know, he goes out for a couple walks throughout the day, has lunch, hangs out with staff members. That's pretty much it, but he just loves to hang around and he loves people, he loves kids, he loves, like, if he hears a kid's voice, he will run right to them. He just gives them kisses and yeah, that's pretty much just socializing with our guests.
Arrow's official job title is Welcome Ambassador, though he could easily be the social director. With no owner, Arrow relies on the hotel staff to ensure his needs are met.
So that's his bed behind the front desk. And then he also has like a crate and a bed back here, just so he can get like a good night's sleep. Because one thing that with Coco, like she just slept wherever and she never slept in dark or anything like that. So when we got him, we were like, okay, we're gonna need like an actual office with a crate, turn off the light, make sure he gets a good night's sleep because Coco would be so tired throughout the day, right? I'm kind of Arrow's mama, as people like to say. So ever since he was a puppy, you know, I just did little training with him here and there, took him to puppy obedience classes. And then a lot of it is just kind of every day, just spending, you know, a couple extra minutes with him every day just to, you know, make sure that he's trained well. And then in terms of like, you know, his supplies, you know, there's all these little things that you think about, like, oh, well, when he's living in a hotel, like, who gets his food? Like, get his food and his beds and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because there must be a bit of because you're not here 7 days a week, obviously, right. And you go on vacation. So, I mean, there must be a plan in place to make sure that...
For sure, yeah. So he has a couple people that are like his main caretakers, but the front desk is the main hub of taking care of Arrow. So, you know, out back, we have a checklist of his feeding schedule because when there's, you know, 10 different people feeding a dog, you kind of need to keep track of who's feeding him.
Whether he's been fed and
making sure he gets fed. And exactly, yeah. You know, when he's getting groomed and his nails cut and all that kind of stuff. So there's a big procedure we have here in terms of, you know, actually taking care of him because there are so many hands in the pot per se. But I mean, like, as you can see, like the staff love interacting with him and it definitely changes the whole environment, I would say. Sit.
As an employee of the hotel, one who does live at the property, Arrow's entitled to vacations, but he's also the only hotel employee who's allowed to sleep over with guests in the hotel.
So he has sleepovers with staff members. Every once in a while, we have some guests that bring their own dogs here. He'll go for sleepovers with them here in our pet-friendly section. And he has vacations away. So my brother has a cottage about 3 hours outside the city. I love taking him there just for a weekend for him to get away, and he loves it as well. But other than that, he lives here and he sleeps here. He's here all the time.
The reality is Arrow's role at Chocolate Lake Hotel is a sign of how times are changing. At one time, having a dog living in a hotel and independently walking the halls would have been off-putting for many guests. Now it's become a commercial advantage for those who want to travel with their own dogs and those who just want to be around dogs.
We have about 24 rooms that we specify as being completely pet friendly and being in a pet friendly section. That way if someone does have allergies, there is a whole other section of the hotel that we can accommodate those kinds of guests. But we are so in demand with those pet friendly rooms, it's crazy. Even throughout the summertime, we have pet friendly rooms that are open that have direct access to outside, and people love those. So we have, I mean, I would say on average in the summertime, we have at least, you know, maybe 10 dogs staying at the hotel. And even in our off season, it's still busy, you know. As you saw, there was a dog that just walked by in the lobby, so it's normal here.
Having a dog living at the hotel as your work companion certainly has a lot of benefits. But just as with Marty back at Dartmouth's Cove Sport, sometimes working with a dog doesn't quite go as planned.
People know him. They, you know, people have brought him down to the lobby and been like, oh, he ran up the hallway. We found him, because they know he lives here. So they bring him back to us, and they know where he belongs down here in the lobby. We do have things that come up every once in a while. So of course, he's still a puppy. He'll be 2 at the end of this month, but he's still in training, I would say. You know, he's still got that lab mentality where he doesn't always plug his brain in. So we have a couple of meeting spaces down on our first floor of the hotel. And this one particular group, they had lunch set up in the room, of course. You know, it was this corporate client of ours. And well, he could smell it from the lobby. Let's just put it that way. So he ended up going down that set of stairs over there to the meeting space and ended up jumping up and eating their lunch. So these things happen, you know, things aren't always super smooth with him because he's still in training.
It's just a funny little habit, and it's usually more in puppies than it is in adult dogs. If we're seeing it in adult dogs, usually it's a dog that's under a lot of stress. You'll either get tail chasing, or you'll get them running the fence, or you'll get them just pacing a lot, and that's all showing signs that this dog's not comfortable. Its needs aren't being looked after.
So this is Good Robot's Hair of the Dog. It's a dog park beer garden. It's a charity event that raises money for Halifax Pop Explosion, a local festival, as well as the SPCA.
What do you think it is that attracts people to come out and drink beer with their dog?
I think it's because, well, at least a lot of the Good Robot crew is, you know, we target a lot of millennials and, you know, the kind of 20 to 40, 20 to 50 range. And a lot of those people don't want kids anymore, I think. So a lot of people
So it's all about dogs now.
Yeah, a lot
for the
and
family.
Halifax is a very dog-friendly city. In the nighttime, we also do our Roboscope series, which is our movie series. So we set up a little projector over there, and we do, instead of a drive-in movie, it's a dog-in movie.
So do dogs watch movies too?
Yeah, absolutely. We're doing Best in Show tonight. So
Oh, well, that's the perfect one for dogs,
it
right?
should be good.
In the shadow of Halifax's Citadel Hill on this summer day, you find yet another evolution in the dogs going to work trend. A sign of the times where more and more events cater to people and their dogs.
None of us have kids. Our dogs are our kids. So we like to be able to take them when we want to do stuff.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Take them shopping and stuff like that whenever there's opportunity.
Can you take your dog shopping?
Yeah.
If I'm going somewhere, I don't like leaving her home. She always sits in the window and watches you leave,
Yeah.
like with the most heartbreaking look.
That sounds very sad.
Yeah, it is. It's traumatizing.
Yeah. Well, it's good for socialization, so they're able to get to meet other dogs and see new experiences. You can train them when you're out. You know, in the summer, we can't leave our dogs in the car if you're popping in somewhere to
Yeah.
get something, so it's nice to be able to take her into the store and get what you need.
Taking your dog to events, to the store, and to work is becoming increasingly common. But even how we treat dogs as part of the family is something which has evolved over time.
It's really nice having community members come up to you and be like, oh my gosh, every time I come to this event, it's bigger, it's better, it's, you know, there's more stuff happening, there's more stuff available, and that's really the nicest thing, being like people who have dogs will come up and, you know, it gives them a fun event that they can actually attend.
I can sense it with my own parents. We had a dog growing up, and the dog was kind of sequestered into the kitchen and only on the hard floor, so in case there was any messes. But now, if Marty comes to visit, he's front and center. He can take up the whole bed himself if he wants. So I think that people understand the stress relief that a dog can bring, and maybe we live more stressful lives. So it's really nice to come home to that steady being that just can help you with your feelings.
A lot of people like to travel with their pets nowadays. Like, people see their pets as their children, and for them to be able to bring their dog here, not pay any kind of pet extra cleaning fee, and be welcomed by all the staff, because of course if you work here, you have to love dogs. Our staff love dogs. They love welcoming the dogs. We even give a little doggy welcome bag at check-in time for your pet. So I think it just kind of sets us apart from everyone else, and it's important because people want to be able to bring their animals with them.
Do you think that we're going to see this as more of a trend, and even in the allied health professions?
I believe so. I know of some other clinics that have had dogs within. A psychology clinic that I remember going to that had 2 little schnauzers that would come around when you asked them to. And I think that we're understanding that comfort that dogs bring to people, and understanding what they can do within our society. And there's more and more research out there as well about they are shown to be more help with productivity in the workplace. I think people don't feel like they're rushing home to their dog. Their dog's sitting under their desk. They're much happier to sit there with them for a while longer. It brings a little piece of home to work.
Yeah. We go to every dog event possible. We always like meet up with each other and take dogs.
You really? Yeah. This wouldn't work everywhere.
No.
But it works here.
It works here, yeah.
And why does it work?
You know, I think it's just our environment. You know, some hotels that you go to, when you walk in, you might not feel quite at home, but one of the feedback that I get from a lot of our guests that stay here is that when they walk in here, they feel like it's home. And he just works here. We've always it's normal for us to have a dog here. When we went a period without Coco being here and Arrow not being here yet, it didn't feel the same. It wasn't quite the same environment, and I'm not sure why it works, but it does. It just does, yeah.
I am so grateful for Marty all of the time. It's the only thing that is troublesome from time to time is places he's not allowed to be.
Visit us online to tell us your dog stories for possible inclusion in future episodes. And don't forget to share photos of your canine friends on social media with the hashtag NSK9.
A dog is looking for you. They want to be around you. They want to be with you. They want to please you. And I really feel like they take on a little bit of our personality. I feel like they become part of us. They're with us. You know, they need us for everything, and then we end up needing them for our emotional health.
Losing the ability in joints, or even losing a paw or limb, is a tough adjustment for a dog. Next time on NSK9, we meet a Nova Scotia man who's working to help dogs all over the world conquer physical challenges.
We work all around the world, literally all around the world. And so these are negative molds we receive from the veterinary clinics or our distributors.
So the clinic will do the mold then?
Yeah, for the most part. And when I say the most part is because we do have some human orthotic prosthetic people that work for us from afar. Either they have their own company and we make the product for them, or they're just a representative for us.